Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to this insightful webinar titled Sustainability in Cold Chain, Reducing Carbon Footprint Without Compromising Quality. Brought to you under the banner of the second World Cold Chain Expo, which is set to take place at Festival Arena, Dubai on September 10th and 11th. I am Ashneet from Tab Group, your session moderator for today. So, the cold chain sector is the backbone of pharmaceuticals, food, and agricultural logistics. But with rising climate concern, it's time we rethink our operations through a sustainability lens. Today, we bring together experts who are leading innovations across pharmaceuticals, dairy, policymaking, and advanced refrigeration to explore how we can reduce environmental impact without sacrificing product safety or quality. So let's meet our distinguished panelists for today. Mr. Mahmood Saeed Ghaly, General Manager at Saja Pharmaceuticals. Mr. Angshuman Siddhanta, Sustainable Cold Chain Expert at UN Environment Program. Mr. Kamal Biswas, Machinery and Automation Incharge at Emirates Industry for Camel Milk and Products. Mr. Dennis Kreher, Operations Manager at Enotech. I would like to thank you, all of you, to be here for your valuable presence. The knowledge and insights you are going to share with us in next 1 hour would be crucial for this particular sector. So let's dive into our discussion with the first question, which I'll be directing towards Mr. Ghaly. Mr. Ghaly, in pharmaceuticals logistics, maintaining stringent temperature requirement is non-negotiable. How do you see sustainability goal being realistically achieved in pharma cold chain without risking product efficacy? Please, Mr. Ghaly.
Thank you, Ashneet, for your question. Actually, in pharmaceutical industry, I think is a temperature control in pharmaceutical logistic is non-negotiable, as you said, as even minor deviation may affect the quality and the efficacy also of the medicine, and subsequent might be reached to side effect even or not reach the treatment option by the patient, which is our ultimate objective, that the community and society to add a value and try to contribute in a good way by pharmaceutical logistic as a important part, crucial part in the pharmaceutical paradigm. Another issue also compromise the product integrity and patient safety and sustainability of compliance are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they can be synergistic with when driven by data and innovation. We are seeing increased deployment of enabled monitoring, AI-powered drought optimization, and cloud-based control towers in pharmaceutical industry and in logistic, which it will help so much in the cold chain of pharmaceutical product, which might be temperature resistant, temperature sensitive. Also, which help reduce fuel usage, prevent temperature excursions, and ensure efficient load consolidation, all without compromising product quality, as a general topic of our conference slogan. In addition to that, in GCC, actually, we have extreme climates intensify the cold chain challenges, which is affecting many issues, not pharmaceutical only, reaching to a food and other industry also. We are seeing a shift to forward validated reusable packaging, passive cooling systems, and localized storage infrastructure to reduce the long haul emissions, and also data logger. Applying data logger along the shipment starting from the factory until reaching the end user is very important in pharmaceutical product, and we start to make what called serialization. So the product, you will monitor the product or the medicine from out of the factory, from manufacturing facility until reaching shipped to the destination or the country or the city, and after this the warehouse and the storing, and after this redistributed by the distributor or the agent to the end user B2C, and reaches a pharmacy, or some product which might be, it will be for giant and the mass market. So this all issues might be there is any interruption or fluctuation in temperature, And if any product subjected to deviation should apply again another stability test to achieve to guarantee that the product is still active and not affected by any deviation or the margin of temperature. The other issue about also regulators like Saudi FDA and here in UAE also they make the EDE, which is called Emirates Drug Establishment. Now the authority changed from MOH to be dedicated only for pharmaceutical industry, that we have EDE, which have a very strong monitoring now, clearance of the product, applying stability study to guarantee that the cold chain is in place, and they make a lot of inspections for all storing places, because here it's a big problem. And for your info, we have alarm if the product temperature is deviated from the margin which is allowing that the product is stable within this temperature. It give alarm to different body, somebody for SMS, through AI, through alarming system about email, auto-generated email, to be sent for the respective body to react about that there is a problem about EC or cooling or whatever. So I think now encouraging green practices, provided they remain GDP compliant and backed by proper validation protocol. So sustainability is not about compromising the standard. It is about engineering a smarter, learner, and more resilient systems that serve both the patient and our society and the planet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ghaly. That was really an insightful and crisp explanation. That was a fine balance between an innovation and precision as well. And the key areas you touched were really insightful. And now I would like to ask Mr. Biswas, staying with critical temperature control products, how are automation and machinery upgrades helping reduce energy consumption and the overall carbon footprint across cold chain operations, be it from processing to delivery in the dairy sector?
Yeah, for automation and modern machinery plays a big role in reducing the carbon energy use and lowering the carbon footprints across the cold chain. How comes? Just like first we take that milk processing with automation. So having efficient machineries using modern pasteurizers, homogenizers that need less heat and electricity, which helps save energy. Then automation system like PLC and SCADA, these are manage temperature, flow, timing accurately, which avoid extra processing and reduce energy waste. Third is heat recovery system. We are all are doing, I guess, for an example, using hot water condensate from one part of the section process, and again it comes to the boiler, which helps both savings energy as well as money. Second thing, to improve cold storage system, like we need to adapt new technologies, that ionocaloric or magnetic cooling or eco-friendly refrigerant such as CO2 and ammonia. These save energy, are for better for environment. But most importantly, the stay to keep at the right temperature during transport, means if you adapt new technology, but no use if you are not maintaining that, right? So checking the vehicle, the cooling unit before it trips, loading items properly, monitoring temperature throughout the journey, keeping records of everything, safety and quality tracking, that is more important, because we need to do, once the machine is installed, we do to preventive. Without preventive, this will not at all work. Then for that monitoring, we need to install that smart cold chain logistics as well. In that, IoT sensors, which helps keep an eye on temperature and humidity all the time, making sure the milk stays safe while saving energy as well. Then insulated cold rooms, that is most important. If your cold room insulation is not proper, then also having the defect of temperature, and you will the product is not good inside. That smart loading system, this will help the plant best way to fill the trucks so they carry more without being overloaded, which means fewer trips and less pollution. Also, one more thing, there's automation in cleaning in place. If your system is automatic, then cleaning of tanks, pipes, using right amount of water and chemicals, which saves both water as well as energy. So you need to monitor this parameter as well. And as per that, we need to feed in PLC so they can check regularly. Recovery system, then reuse of hot water and cleaning solutions, which helps reduce energy and the chemical waste. For a heat recovery system, we are using here some the final flush, the final rinse water in the CIP. We can collected in a separate tank, and it is reused for the initial flushing, providing and measurement of pH and conductivity meter within the acceptable limit. So they are reducing both energy consumption as well as operational cost. And one more thing, renewable integration. That dairy plant must be operate on solar panels or biogas system to run the machine or heating using cleaning and renewable energy. Dairy waste like whey or manure now being used in biogas plant to produce energy, helping the plant more run on its own without outside power. So that will be helps in saves energy also as well as cost. So what are the conclusion for this one? Lowering energy demand, reducing carbon emission, and improve process control and the product quality for this one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Biswas. That was really accurate. That how you touched that prevention is obviously better than cure. Since energy-heavy operations like dairy processing truly benefit from smart machinery, but it is also important to keep in mind that prevention is very important. So thank you so much, Mr. Biswas, for that. Now, I would like to ask Mr. Siddhant that considering your work at UNEP, let's zoom out a bit. What scalable policy or technology interventions can emerging economies adopt to simultaneously strengthen their cold chain infrastructure and reduce carbon emissions? I would like to ask Mr. Siddhant to explain this.
Thanks, Ashneet, and thanks for the invite and and talking about UNEP's
You're welcome.
initiatives. And I'll just like to say that UNEP has been doing a lot in cold chain, and India has been our focus country for scaling up cold chain and investments, and in terms of policy and other capacity building and other financing mechanisms, but also with the perspective of helping and taking and replicating best practices from India and across the world, and even global best practices, bringing from other countries to India. So just to say that emerging economies can adopt several scalable policies and technology interventions. For example, in terms of policy and incentive financing, governments can introduce NCAPs, which are National Cooling Action Plans, which we in India we have introduced in 2019 through Ministry of Environment, which is the India Cooling Action Plan. And also with NCAPs, we can also governments can scale and see how carbon credits can be a tool to a policy tool, and then again subsidize and or performance linked finance incentives, and also low interest financing for businesses adopting sustainable cold chain technologies. So I think public private partnership can also accelerate infrastructure development. India government has its cold chain subsidy scheme to incentivize development of integrated cold chains and components. For example, Haryana, which is one of our pilot states, has its own subsidy scheme, which they are giving subsidies up to 80% for cold chain development. So these are the kind of incentives that can scale up and help scale up sustainable cold chains across the country. And secondly, in terms of the technological interventions, obviously countries and governments need to focus on deploying energy efficient cold chain systems. I think which is very critical at this point, and investing in energy efficient technology and renewable energy or solar powered or biomass powered cold chain systems, like in the components of cold chain like pack house or cold store or ripening chambers is very critical. So which aims for also a net zero sort of a project, and this has been an endeavor of UNEP to deploy such net zero projects in India as well. So I think cold chain should also strive to achieve operational efficiency and therefore have standard operating procedures in place with proper training for operators for achieving energy efficient cold chain infrastructures. Again, uh, need to have energy management measures in place so that, for example, if you're installing pre-cooling or staging cold room, that should be analyzed as part of what is the fresh produce coming in or what is the throughput capacity. So the planning has to be very accurate when you're planning cold chain system so that the whole system is energy efficient. So coming into again the use of sustainable refrigerants, which is again one of the focus areas of UNEP, and we have been trying to deploy this in India and trying to integrate, by transitioning into low global warming potential refrigerants, and natural refrigerants can reduce the environmental impact of cold chains. So the policies that incentivize the adoption of natural refrigerants such as CO2 and ammonia, as was said by one of my other panelists, can accelerate the shift. So, for example, UNEP's has a demonstration project coming up in Bihar, one of the states in India, where we are deploying low GWP refrigerants, which is ammonia, and we'll also be introducing as one of the first net zero replicable packhouse projects in the country. So this is going to be model packhouse that will be demo packhouse that will be replicated across India. Again, coming into the establishment of integrated cold chain networks, there is also something developing regional cold chain hubs and food corridors can optimize logistics, reduce food loss, and minimize redundant energy use. Additionally, also coordinated efforts among producers, operators, and trading partners can enhance the efficiency and sustainability. Making, I'm just coming into my last point, which is, also, I think other panelists have also talked about this integration of, smart monitoring and IoT solutions. And this is, how it helps in deploying real-time temperature monitoring and predictive analytics can improve cold chain efficiency and reduce spoilage and food loss and optimize the whole energy consumption as a whole. I'll stop here. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. Policy shifts really do amplify impact, but as you mentioned, it is also important for SOPs to be there. So thank you so much, Mr. Siddhant, for that. And now it is also important to understand from a tech perspective. So, Mr. Kreher, I would like to request that please explain that what specific cold chain innovations at Enotech are driving measurable reductions in carbon emissions, particularly in the areas of refrigeration and energy sourcing.
Well, we as a specialist in dry ice production and technology located in Frankfurt, Germany, we don't have traditional cold chains. So I would like to put my focus on dry ice for this. When we talk about innovation, the main emission reduction lies in the efficiency of our production systems. So dry ice itself, it needs to be said, is CO2 neutral, as it's made from recovered industrial CO2 that would otherwise be released into the atmosphere. With our patented Helix system, we have a technology that improves the conversion rate from liquid CO2 to solid dry ice by around 20%. That means less CO2 is needed to produce the same amount of dry ice. This same system purely is based on physics, so it can even be integrated into existing machines also from our competitors, for example. But talking about reducing carbon emissions, there is much more. Because over time, we noticed that many of our customers who produce dry ice don't fully understand the process and the molecule CO2 itself. That's why we decided to not only sell our dry ice machines, but also support them from the very first idea of an own dry ice production all the way to full operation. We help plan everything they need, so beginning from the right liquid CO2 storage tanks, piping system, insulation, the dry ice machine itself, of course, that fits their needs, as well as wrapping machines for slices up to highly insulated storage containers. Because all these things together save a huge amount of CO2 and carbon emissions. So to come back to the question, the biggest impact on emissions and energy savings, or in other words, simply saving money, really comes from good planning and a setup that matches your actual needs. Of course, there are a lot of details behind all that, but I think that is better to discuss in person at the exhibition in Dubai in September.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kreher. And I also like the fact that you put emphasize that going beyond traditional and conventional ways of reducing carbon emissions can create a lot of ways to do that. So thank you so much, Mr. Kreher, for enlightening us to that aspect. Now, I would like to go back to Mr. Ghaly. Mr. Ghaly, what role can pharmaceutical manufacturers play in integrating eco-friendly packaging and transport systems across the cold chain while still adhering to strict regulatory and quality standards?
Thank you, Ashneet, about this very important question. About pharmaceutical industry and the cold chain, I think it's very, very critical to apply the new methodology and the new strategy and untraditional ways to consider the emissions and the other negative part. And also they are considered as you know, there is a sterilized and high potent and very oncology product and biological, which it will need a special treatment in the cold chain and might be reaching to every box of medicine have a special adapter or monitoring system. So يعني pharmaceutical manufacturer have a pivotal role in driving sustainability through upstream the innovation and the supplier alignment. It begins with material selection, adopting a biodegradable materials, which is considered as eco-friendly, and recycling insulation, using phase change materials over dry ice, and designing a packaging system that maintain a thermal performance with reduced carbon output. Collaboration also is the key. Manufacturer must partner with logistic provider all over the world. As you know, every pharmaceutical manufacturing site, it will produce a medicine for around 50 countries all over the world. Yani not every country have a manufacturing facility for a medicine, especially the innovator or the product which is unique and new product as a monopoly. So it's only two manufacturing covering all the world, which is making a very huge burden on a different distributor and a different product, different partners in different country to align with the same country of origin. So country of origin is very important until reaching the patient in every country all over the globe. So collaboration is a very crucial issue. Also, we have to partner with logistic provider, packaging engineers, and regulatory body, also in the authority, Ministry of Health in every country. So it's very important to assure eco-friendly solution, undergo validations, which is might be very, very rigorous, and also stability testing to meet the GDP and GSCP standard. Internally, a manufacturer can enhance sustainability by integrating digital serialization, which now we start to apply in the last 2 years in the Gulf country GCC, especially UAE and KSA, Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, and the Kuwait country. They are following now the new integrating digital serialization, batch level traceability. So you are track and trace system, track and trace from the start, from the country of origin and from manufacturer and the batch releaser until reaching to the final, the taking all the journey until reaching to the patient. And also after the patient, even when the medicine reach to the patient, might be you have to apply a new also monitoring system to be kept in home. It might be this medicine can be used for 1 month or 2 months in the home of the patient. So how to guarantee that this product not affected as a stability? And you have to make the storing recommendation or make learning or educate the patient and the public about the temperature control for every medicine. You imagine it reach, so it will increase. You have to make all the stakeholders of the cold chain process, even the pharmacist in the pharmacy, even the storekeeper, even the pharmacy in inpatient pharmacy, even the outpatient pharmacy, and also in home. Okay, before we put in refrigerator, might be some product it is -5. You imagine, and you have to make it. We have a column standard came from India to one product to apply stability testing here in the country. You imagine it's a nightmare to have a cold chain from India from one state to another state until reaching to you here and the laboratory to apply the stability. Otherwise, it will fail and it will cost you around $60,000 for only one column standard. So you have to apply a general practice and standard guidelines to assure and guarantee that everything in the cold chain of pharmaceutical product is in a good in reaching in the professional way. In addition to batch level traceability and predictive analytics to prevent overproduction, minimize waste, and enable agile distribution, which is have the sales forecast cycle. We have to go for the logistic and sales operation. So you have to give a correct forecasting, okay, which is a minimal deviation to assure no extra production and also at the same time to be aligned with the demand. So you don't ask for a product to keep it for 1 year and a half. Although its shelf life, it will shelf life of pharmaceutical or active constituent might be accepting, yani, it is within the limit of the shelf life.
Mr. Mahmood, that was really insightful. This shows that how important Second World Cold Chain Expo is for the industries, for the collaboration as well. So thank you so much, Mr. Mahmood, for that. Now, I would like to ask Mr. Siddhant that speaking of alignment of all this, how important is cross-sectoral collaborations between governments, industry, and international organizations in building green cold chains, especially in regions vulnerable to climate shock? So, Mr. Siddhant, could you please touch this topic?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Ashneet, cross-sectoral collaboration is very essential for building green cold chains to counter the climate shocks. When government, industry, and international organizations work together, they create a powerful synergy that combines policy support, technological innovations, and global best practices. This collaborative approach actually ensures that infrastructure not only meets immediate food preservation needs, but also aligns with the broader sustainability and climate resilient goals. UNEP is supporting India, in various state policy plannings and developing financial mechanisms and business models, bringing private sector investments. And also, while doing this, we're also doing capacity building and awareness and coaching, which is one of the major pillars of where impact can be made. Now, talking about the whole collaborative idea here, it matters because the government, in terms of policy and regulation, government sets the regulatory framework and the incentives that drive sustainable cold chain adoption. In India, initiatives like ICAP, obviously India Coding Action Plan, and the MIDH guidelines under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare demonstrates how integrated policymaking can foster scalable and energy efficient cold chain solutions. These frameworks can also help emerging economies manage uh, growing energy demands while mitigating environmental impacts and by incentivizing energy efficient and climate friendly technologies. So here again, UNEP is also supporting one of the states in India, Haryana, to come up with its first cold chain policy, which is going to integrate renewable energy and energy efficiency and other sustainable cold chain practices. So secondly, again, when we talk about again the private sector is bringing in the whole, the crucial role in deploying low carbon refrigeration and the RE powered cold chain systems connected with refrigerated transport systems and smart monitoring systems and that optimizes energy and reduces emissions. So that is the second part. Again, the third, when it comes the role of international international organizations like UNEP. UNEP and multilateral agencies and other UN agencies facilitate a lot of knowledge exchange and provide technical assistance and funding mechanisms by mobilizing international finance that help emerging economies scale green cold chains effectively. So UNEP is also supporting, other countries as well to bring in that sort of, transition into how we can provide technical support and and replicate the, what learnings we have in India to other countries as well. So I think that cross-border learning and, sharing of knowledge is one of our key initiatives and objectives of UNEP. And when it comes to the, the in terms of resilience against climate shock, the coordinated efforts ensures that cold chain remains operational during extreme weather events like extreme heat or, excessive, rainfall, by safeguarding food security and also reducing post-harvest losses. So in our experience, cold chain development, particularly, integrated cold chains in rural areas in states of India, we have seen that it helps generate more income and, reduce food loss and boost climate adaptation. And also, it counters the problem of migration from rural areas to cities. So there is also, a big issue that high populous countries face. So cold chain can generate a lot of livelihood and jobs in the rural area, and, not impact that mass migration that is happening from the rural areas to the cities. So this the whole ecosystem supports the development of green cold chains that safeguards this, whole perishable goods and pharmaceuticals and others, and enhance food security as well, and mitigates carbon emissions and, under the challenging conditions of extreme weather and extreme climate risks. So by I think, by collaborating, stakeholders, pooling their risks and sharing best practices and accelerating the development of sustainable technology driven solutions that can scale in regions. I think cold chain and green cold chain has a huge, opportunity, and I think every government, every country should make cold chain, sustainable cold chain development as one of their key policy areas. So that's where I'll stop. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Siddhant. And you touched that cold chain development is crucial for economic aspect as well, that it might create livelihood, more jobs, which could reduce migration as well, and that ultimately also helps in fundamentally help our environment and everything. So obviously we were talking about collaboration, mindset, and alignment. So collaboration is indeed the cornerstone, especially in fragile ecosystem. So thank you so much, Mr. Siddhant, for moving us towards that aspect. Uh, so now let's turn to the design side of sustainability, Mr. Biswas. I would like to ask, how does equipment design and machinery celebration in dairy processing influence both product shelf life and sustainability metrics in temperature control logistics?
Yes, the design and the machinery calibration is directly impact the product shelf life and sustainability. How? That first of all, we need to precise temperature control. The pasteurizer and UST systems are designed to heat milk to the right temperature for the right time to kill germs without harming nutrition. Example, that milk is heated for 72 degree for 15 seconds in the pasteurizer. So the storage temperature for this raw milk is 5 degree, pasteurized milk is 5 degree, and ice cream is below 18 degree, minus 18 degree. So if we keep the raw milk minus 18 degree and ice cream 4 degree, what happened? It will damage, right? So proper calibration of the machine ensure that this temperature stay correct. If it is too low, then germs stay and spoil the product. If it is too high, the taste and the texture change that can lead to waste, which helps the increase shelf life without lowering quality and reduce returns of food waste during delivery. Second thing is reduce product variability. Precise filling machine are set to fill the exact amount in each bottle or pack, which keep the right space at the top to ensure proper sealing. If we seal the more, then what will happen? On the top of the sealing, the seal will not proper. So without proper sealing, it can left bacteria and spoil the product. This constant filling and sealing helps in smooth transport and storage, which lets chance of spoilage. Third is that effective cooling system. Machine with better heat exchangers and carefully set cooling speed help product cool down at the right temperature faster. Cooling quickly and evenly means package and product don't get damaged by sudden temperature changes. Energy moves more efficiently, so cold store system does not have to work as hard. Third is smart monitoring. Modern equipment having data logging and IoT was we discussed earlier also. Connection to monitor temperature and flow in real time, which helps to spot real time problems. So we need to schedule maintenance before breakdowns, track the product for the better throughout the cold chain. Using this data, make planning delivery easier, avoid overchilling, which reduce the cost and energy, helps route track efficiently, saving fuels and electricity, and so on. That less waste, which equals to improve sustainability. Well calibrated machine reduce product waste while starting and stopping the equipment. Extra use of water, steam, cleaning, which are the utilities. We can save the energy and cost there also. Modern equipment are designed to easy to clean, which lower the risk of contamination and speeding up the cleaning. This means less energy, water, and chemical are used, helps the business more sustainability and more resource efficiently. So by ensuring the equipment is well designed and precisely calibrated, the producer enhance both product sustainability and supply chain sustainability, support safer food and greenery operation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Biswas. It is so important that different products have different profiles and requires different machinery calibration as well to improve their shelf life. And also, you mentioned that it is so important to uh, know before the problem arises to take care of the product. Thank you so much for telling us all that. Now, Mr. Kreher, to just take us towards a conclusion, could you please share insights on how digital monitoring tool and real-time data analytics are transforming operational efficiency and sustainability in cold storage and transport?
Sure, yeah. So like I said before, as a dry ice machine manufacturer and dry ice producer, we don't directly use monitoring tools for cold chains, obviously. However, as a company, we more and more use AI to improve efficiency and sustainability in many of our own processes. So when it comes to the dry ice cold chain, AI as a real-time data analysis tool can already make and will definitely continue to make a big difference. It has the potential to be a real game changer in areas like predictive planning, temperature control, and reducing waste, of course. So, for example, AI can look at past data to forecast how much dry ice or cooling energy in general will be needed in the future. This avoids overproduction and saves energy. Also, AI can see when temperature is not normal and suggest quick actions, for example, using more dry ice or less dry ice, or changing the insulation containers. Also, AI can use live traffic, weather, and delivery data to find the best routes and delivery times, helping keep the cold chain stable and reducing emissions. What else? Like AI can track how long dry ice lasts and when to refill so that only what's needed is produced. That reduces waste and saves resources, of course. Last but not least, AI can also pattern that shows something is wrong, like broken sensors, bad insulation, or what else could go wrong in a production before actual damage happens. So overall, AI helps make cooling and transport systems more efficient, more reliable, and more sustainable. It supports company also in using less energy, reducing waste, and protecting the environment at the end. So yeah, I hope this answers the question from a very dry ice driven perspective. And yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kreher. It was really a detailed answer we were looking for. Yes, you were right. The power of data and AI truly lies in action. And when it's live in real time, the opportunities for efficiency are immense. So thank you so much for touching upon that as well. So now I would like to thank you all our panelists for sharing such pragmatic and forward-thinking perspective today. Truly, the last 1 hour was all about education, about cold chain development. If today's discussion is an indication, the future of cold chain logistics lies in smart, collaborative, and sustainable innovation. But perhaps we have only scratched the surface, and much more awaits you at the second World Cold Chain Expo this September 10th and 11th at Festival Arena, Dubai. So, whether you are a logistics leader, sustainability enthusiast, tech provider, or regulatory professional, mark your calendars, register now, and be part of shaping the cold chain of tomorrow. Thank you all for joining us. I'm excited and I would love to see you all in Dubai in September.
Thank you, Ashneet. Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
very much.